You are listening to the Get Global Network podcast of the Ask Avani Show. You can hear the show live on Saturdays at 3 p.m. in London, 9 a.m. Central Time in the U.S. on SoMetro Radio, one of the original member stations of the Get Global Network.
Good afternoon. This is the Ask Avani Show right here on SoMetro Radio. Good morning, good afternoon. I want to say a big welcome to everybody wherever you may be, UK, USA, Europe, worldwide. You are in the place to be, and this is your regular slot with me, your UK soul-queen-diva, right here in London town. Yes, we are broadcasting on the Get Global Network, and in the Dallas, Texas studios, I have, Program Director of the Ask Avani Show, Kay Rose.
Good morning, good afternoon, Avani. You see how I came in quicker that time because I'm feeling better.
Okay, well, that's what we like to hear because, we've both been ill and there's been all sorts going on, isn't there, Kay Rose? Oh, my God.
It's fun. It's part of the foundation, as I call it.
Yes. I mean, I have to say, everybody, just to let everybody know, yes, we are broadcasting live across many other stations here on the Get Global Network. So, yes, this afternoon, today's show topic is going to be an amalgamation of a few things, but the main topic is sexual harassment and discrimination in public and the workplace. The question I'm asking today, is it supposedly just playful banter gone too far, or something far more serious that really needs to be addressed and stamped out? Now, what do you think of that, Kay Rose?
Well, I only have one answer, and that is it's basically needs to be stamped out. It's real. Mm-hmm. Nice, quick, and, I reside in Dallas. We are an international show, as some people don't even realize.
No.
And this past week in Dallas, I'm sure those people who know about what happened on July 7th in Dallas where the police officers were killed.
Absolutely.
That is just basically rooted in discrimination and
exactly.
Social bias. So it's a scary thing.
Wow. And I don't know if people are realizing again, yesterday, this is breaking news again, there's been another attack in France. So we want to take the time to say to everybody, whoever, if you've been involved in this or you know someone who has, our hearts go out to you. And it's just, I don't know what's going on in the world, Karos. Take apart from putting that aside, the sexual side of it, discrimination, as you just said. I mean, I don't know. As I say, there are all different types of discrimination and harassment, which people can and are, as we know, continuing to experience. And I really, really hope that this is going to be stopped because it's just unnecessary. I mean, why? I mean, what is it that these people are so scared of that they want to make other people suffer and be frightened and ultimately, unfortunately, kill because of this hatred and discrimination, and they want to make people terrified? Why is that?
Well, I think the driving force behind it is the fact that the people that have the ability actually to make this world a better place, they really care about themselves, which sounds sad, but I think this is the case. I think they care about themselves more than they care about anyone else. And they don't really have to be involved in a lot of the destruction of society that they create because they don't physically have to reside in neighborhoods or live in countries. They just do things for themselves, and that's why sexual harassment is the way that it is.
Well, yeah, and because that's a form of power, isn't it? And I mean, it seems there's always going to be some type of discrimination and harassment in the world. I hope this is going to be stopped, but I just wanted to talk about that as a whole as well on today's show because it's just showing us, unfortunately, that recent events have coming to the fore again ever more clearly that these things are still happening, and it's just like, wow. I mean, yes, I want to take the time to mention because we had that last week, the attack over there in Dallas. I mean, it was unbelievable seeing that unfolding on the news, and everyone's just couldn't believe it. And I'm not being funny, but I've noticed in the media and the news articles, they were portraying other aspects of the life of that former Army soldier, Michael Johnson. And they were saying that, and I was really surprised, Link One Carers. I was really surprised because they were saying that he apparently was sent home from Afghanistan for sexually harassing a female soldier who said he bought her Victoria's Secret underwear, and then this is what I'm quoting. They said he got in touch with bad folks and went all Black Panther. I mean, come on. I mean, really?
Well, and there's a couple of things to that, because sexual harassment is sexual harassment. You know, if you are working with someone and, you know, they come in and give you your birthday gift, since it's your birthday and it's a Victoria's Secret outfit.
Maybe it wasn't her birthday though. They reckon that he was just like, he liked her and he was trying to get her attention, and that's the way he started harassing her, because obviously she's not interested. See, if someone's doing something like that and you're not interested, then it's all one-sided on their part. That's harassment, because you're telling them, you know, you're not showing interest. If you're a consenting adult and you're allowing the behaviour, then that's fine. That means that's two consenting adults. That's part, you know. But because she was like, no, I'm not interested, that's harassment, because he just won't leave her alone.
And I mean, I just mentioned birthday just as a because, just to give someone an excuse to give a gift. But if he probably did it all the whole time. Yeah, and so I mean, that's a real. First of all, I'm saying it so people understand it is real. Sexual harassment is real,
and it comes in many forms as well, because it's a form of power, isn't it?
Oh, that's where it resides. That's where it starts.
You know, they want to be able to make you do something because you've caught their eye. And this, I must stress this can happen to male as well as female. So don't worry, I'm not just saying it just happens to women. You know, it seems to be women that get the majority of the unwanted attention, but no, it happens to men as well.
Oh,
we have to hear about that. Yeah, we have to say that. But I mean, Kara, I was fascinated to read that, because I thought, hold on a second. So these are the things that they're saying that he did. Apparently, they're calling him a pervert, sort of thing, and they're saying that he harassed her, his colleague, and then someone else is saying, sorry, I have to say this, that he used to steal ladies' underwear. This is all the things they're saying about this man, and they're trying to paint him as more than just, which is bad enough, obviously, you know, a murderer. They're saying that he did all these other things as well leading up to it, and they're saying that he had all these issues. And I'm thinking, okay, does this have any bearing on the mindset of a man? Because it ain't been funny. He could have been suffering from any number of things. Remember, if he's been a US Army soldier, he could have went out there and seen, we just cannot imagine the things he's seen. He could have come back with PTSD or something else, or maybe a variety of things. And I'm not being funny. He could have been suffering from these things, all these mental health issues and depression, not excusing what he did. Of course not by any stretch of the imagination. But did anyone ever stop to think that he might have needed help? And nobody, you know?
I agree with that. And I think that that's something that is very real, that happens to soldiers and that happens to veterans. And in this case, just hearing these things that are coming out, it, to me, makes me digest what he did a little better, because I know that he was struggling and he was going through some mental issues. Just by
obviously, what he did wasn't right. We must stress this. We're going to stress this again. You know, what he did was not right, but he was frustrated. Obviously, I can't say if he did all the things that they're saying in the articles about him sexually harassing a colleague. That part I don't know, and you know, until they can say they've got the proof of it, I don't know. But it just goes to show you that he had so many things maybe going on in his life, and the fact that he, as a black man coming back from the war, he's seen all these things, and then he's come home and he's saying, well, hold on, you know, as a black man, I still have to be fighting just to survive, because he's seeing other black men being killed by law enforcement, which he was once a part of in a way. Obviously, he was in the army, but that's still a type of law enforcement, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's like he's thinking, okay, well, because one minute they're saying, okay, the shooter wasn't a trained shooter. Now they're saying he was trained, obviously because he was in the army, so he had sniper abilities. And you just think, what do you believe? I mean, I've seen things, Keros, on social media where there people are asking a lot of questions, saying, okay, how come they didn't show? Because they're saying, oh, he was in the garage and he got killed by a police robot. They detonated the bomb and blew him up. They're saying, well, how come we didn't hear about this? There's a lot of questions that I know it's going to make people think, because they're going to say, well, how come they're only portraying that one side of him and they're not portraying other things that he supposedly said or did, and they're not telling anybody anything until many, many, many hours later or days later? And you just think, well, yeah, but there's so much crazy stuff going on, and obviously people have lost their lives, you know, fathers, sons, daughters, you know, these are citizens of the community, and you might, on the other hand, you might say, well, I'm not being funny, but they've had other things on their mind than to be worrying at the person who's apparently caused all this carnage in the first place, as to be telling what happened to him in his supposed last hours. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, what do you say to that? Because there's a lot of questions. I've been seeing it on social media, and they're saying, oh, yeah, but they're not going to tell the truth about this, and they're not going to tell you that, and they're not going to tell you his life. And I remember thinking, well, that's what I found. Do you see what I mean?
That's what media does. Media frames how they want, and they can be those people in power or the media outlet, and usually the media outlet has a definite slant as to how they want to portray things if they aren't just unbiased. You know, there's Fox News here in the United States that is very much a conservative arm, and they're constantly talking about things from the viewpoint of a conservative side. It is not equally balanced, and then they took the term equally balanced and used it as their tagline to make people think, hey, we're equal. Well, no, they are giving a conservative view on it. So the media is going to, they slant things the way someone wants to frame it, whether that's the police, whether that's the local authorities, etc. But to me, knowing those things were in his life and he was living that way, and he had some things that were really not, he wasn't well mentally, it makes me, and I'm very sorry for the officers that lost their lives and their families especially.
Yes.
But I can understand someone who's mentally just something is out of balance. They will be,
saw it a certain way.
Yeah, and they will be affected by the trauma that the media basically shows him on TV also.
Yeah, because remember, I'm sure a lot of people have said, well, hold on, this keeps happening. You know, we keep seeing black men, usually unarmed, being shot. You know, because I'm not being funny. If you really want to stop someone, okay, we understand you may think they're going to shoot you. I mean, we've had this conversation before, haven't we, Kairos? I mean, unfortunately, we have had it before. And I've said, why can't they just taser them? Worst case scenario, taser them. If you really have to try to apprehend somebody. But they're saying, well, we know because it's an active shooter and it's this and it's that. But I'm not being funny. Not every case the person had a gun. So it's hard, isn't it? I mean, but the full point I want to make is, because we just want this to stop. I'm just going to say it right now. Wherever you may be around the world, you know, whatever color you may be, if you're not a racist person, which most people are not, we just want this to stop. And all I'm thinking of is how can we begin to change people's mindset so that those who would discriminate and harass others so easily will start to realize we're all part of one race, the human race, and we can very easily get along because that's what we're supposed to do here on Earth. If only we all tried, we came together, support each other, instead of constantly trying to harm each other and in this case, kill each other. Because what are those people so afraid of? That's what I want to know. Why are they so scared? Because maybe in the future, if we could get to the bottom of that, we could stop so many lives being lost.
Well, that's a subject that, you know, it doesn't get solved in a show. It doesn't get solved in 10 years, but I think we are on our way to a solution just because of time. So. And I mean, for me, because I am a black man in America, and so for me, if I'm in a car, I have reactions to a policeman being behind me in my car that other people don't have. And the reason they don't have
we have to say it, though, isn't it? We have to say that.
Yeah. But
it
they don't recognize it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw something the other day, Carol, a clip from Steve Harvey's show, and he was saying that even he now has taken all the hoodies out of his sons' wardrobes. He has told his sons, if they're driving around, they must put their registration on the dashboard already, so they don't have to reach into nothing to get it, like the glove compartment or their pocket. Because these things make those types of law enforcers nervous, innit? That's what makes them want to shoot you. If you tell them, officer, I'm reaching for something, you know, they'll be like, oh, you're reaching for a gun, bang, bang, bang. You don't know what's going on in these people's mind.
And you shouldn't have to worry about it because if I'm a Caucasian man and I'm riding around in my car, normal Nissan car, and a police officer pulls me over, that man doesn't worry about how is the police officer going to interact with them. They just say, okay, officer, let me get my registration. The officer is just like, oh, okay, normal